All right. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So, it's important for us to understand that there is a goal at the back of this whole event. Every time you are opened to this kind of situations, this kind of anomalies, as it seems, or as it were, in our lives, God has a goal in mind. One of it is that patience must be furnished. I listened to one of the Deeper Life pastors many years ago. He was preaching outside of this country. I think in Singapore, Asia to be specific. And he is charismatic. He believes in speaking in tongues, even in the public. So while he was teaching on this charismatic thing, the evidence of speaking in tongues, and all of that. And all of a sudden, somebody amongst them started speaking in tongues. Then there's another guy who came into the meeting disturbed, discouraged about life, that happens to be a Yoruba guy. So as that guy was speaking in tongues, the guy went on saying, Musuru, 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 right? That's what he was saying. But he was speaking in tongues because the person speaking is not a Yoruba guy. So he was saying, Musuru, Musuru. And all of a sudden, the guy who can speak Yoruba, started looking at the guy. The more that guy was speaking Musuru, that is, it's supposed to be Nisuru, right? But he was hearing that Suru, be patient. He started weeping. He was weeping and weeping profusely. And then the man kept saying they should pray and teaching. And then the guy couldn't take it anymore. He raised his hand. And he said, look, this guy is speaking in the language I can hear. And they said, what can you hear? What did you hear him say? He said, I hear him saying Musuru, that God is telling me to be patient. I came into this place discouraged. And then Pastor Ayo, Reverend Shala, and some of these guys also went to Israel. You remember that story? And then I think it was Pastor Ayo or one of them that was speaking in tongues. And this man was passing. Can you remember the tribe now? From Greece. Okay, from Greece. As he was passing, they don't drink, they don't shark. But the man has been discouraged, I think, over his son or something that was sick. And then Pastor Ayo, them who are Nigerians, were just speaking in tongues. They were doing what they know how to do. Were you in Israel with them that time? You were there. Aha. So I just remembered. You were there. So you saw, you have a first-hand testimony of what I'm sharing. And all of a sudden, this man said, you guys are talking to us. You guys were speaking to us. They didn't know what it was, but they came in discouraged. You see, the dealings of God is to bring us to the place where we are fixated on him. You see the sons, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because if you don't go through these trials, there will be no promotion. There is a way that God looks at you and he says, this one is ready for me. This one is ready for me. So you will notice in the life of Daniel, I want to bring to you Daniel, and I want to bring to you Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You will see the first trial that happened. That trial that happened was bespoke. It was made for Daniel. Somebody say Daniel. It was made for Daniel because the king had a dream. And when this king had a dream, nobody could interpret it. And the reason why nobody could interpret it was because the king was already determined never to tell them the dream. That if there is anything for me to know that you are truly you are your department of spiritual concerns of my country, you are qualified to head it. You are qualified to man it. Because in the days of Babylon, Babylon had stargazers, Babylon had astrologers, Babylon had the Chaldeans, Babylon had all these guys put together, and a department was formed for them. And when they were going to look for these guys, they didn't look for children of ordinary seed. They looked for children of a particular caliber, with particular kind of training and upbringing. So if they go to, they look for the children of the noble. They look for the children that has high level priesthood in their lineage. And it happens to be that Daniel was among one of them. So when they had this dream, they said, the king had this dream and he said, bring the minister of spiritual matters. And as at that time, Daniel was not the minister of spiritual matters. They now brought the head of that ministry. They said, look, I've had a dream, and this dream I don't want to tell, but the dream troubled me so much. And if anyone among you will interpret this dream, I, the king, I will reward the person. They said, okay, oh king, tell the dream that we might tell the interpretation. He said, I already know you will tell me to tell the dream. I am not going to tell the dream. You get the dream out and tell me the interpretation. So they said, tell the dream. He said, if you don't tell the dream and give me the interpretation, I will kill all of you. They now gave an answer. Said, look, there is nobody that can give this thing unless he that dwells what? Among the gods. Said, no God, nobody on earth here can give you the dream and tell you the interpretation. O king, tell us the dream and we will tell the interpretation. They were thinking that is the generation of Joseph, where Pharaoh had a dream and he said the dream and God locked up what? The understanding of the people. This time around, God locked up the dream and locked up the understanding. So they said they were going to destroy them. Now, notice this. As they said they were going to destroy them, they were coming for Daniel and his men. And Daniel said, why does the matter of this king requires this kind of haste? He said, this matter has been on ground. Where have you been? Daniel has been doing his business with the Lord. Daniel is one that has been staying. But see, because of the promotion that was coming, the university and the school of adversity is about to open. A trial is about to come. And if he positions himself accurately within the season of this trial, then the next thing will be the rewards that comes from the trial. There is a reward that comes from every trial that you open yourself to go through graciously. There is a reward that comes. I'm not talking about this mundane reward. I'm not talking about the ephemeral. You see, you need to understand that it's not only fasting and prayer that makes a man anointed. Please help me tell your neighbor, it's not just fasting and prayer that makes you anointed. Your ability to navigate the seasons of temptation releases authority on you. Your ability to navigate the seasons of temptation, the seasons of trial, your ability to navigate the seasons of test. Maybe you are doing business and somebody is trying to take advantage of you and they thought they are actually taking advantage of you. You see, many years ago I had concluded in my life, if you see me fight somebody, money is not one of the reasons. Many years ago, my grandfather, Dr. Tunde Bakari, was teaching. He said, men can cheat you, but you don't be the cheat. And I have run with that value. I will tell, if I say mention something to Pastor Victor now, he will be shocked. You know my money with that Indian guy is not back. And I have not raised a force. I'm living my life. It's millions. So. Okay, it's Oraka that will be shocked because I didn't tell him. I just closed the topic. I will not be a cheat. Cheat me. Think you are done with me. You just leave. There is a higher value that God will bring. That one too, now spiritual son. No. Okay, I think my wife is hearing too for the. I've exposed myself again. Are you with me? I will not fight anyone because of money. Because when you look at the equation between man and God and mammon, Satan was not mentioned there. It now happens to be that mammon, if you follow it, is stronger than Satan. You cannot serve God and devil. Was that what the Bible said? No. Ye cannot serve God and what? Serve mammon. So when God was going to equate the distraction that will happen to a believer, he didn't say Satan. When God was going to speak about his jealousy for a believer, one of the jealousy is not, hey, don't serve Satan. No. He knows that Satan is not a matter. It's not, see, the more I follow God, the more I realize that the inhibitors for this matter of our walk with God is you and I. God equated himself to mammon. I said, hey. So the day my grandfather said, look, men can cheat you and you don't be the cheat, I held it. You can't see me fighting anybody for money. I tell you the truth, till tomorrow I can walk out of $1 billion. Because I will not give you the opportunity to say you made me. I won't. For I have vowed not to touch even the latchet of your shoe, lest when I'm rich, you say you made Abraham rich. No. Everything that comes to me must be accounted for by the dealings of God and the things that the Lord has done on my life. So it became very clear that there was something that God was doing in the life of this man. It became very clear that trying times will pass. But the reason why trying times are not passing around you is because you have not been able to grow intrinsically in patience. Patience is a virtue that must first find itself within you, intrinsically. It has to be there, because God knows that for every trial you overcome, there is a golden moment to show you forth. For every trial you overcome, there is a golden moment to show you forth. There is a golden moment where the Father will begin to reveal himself to you. So he said, allow patience to find its root. Allow patience to dig deep into you. Allow patience that by that trial, that phase of trial, what will happen to you is that patience will be furnished. So Daniel appeared, and Daniel said to the king, what is it? Give us some time. And Daniel was given time so that Daniel and his company will not die, the Bible said, with the wise men of Babylon. You see, that trial time was not for the four of them. Somebody say it was not for the four of them. It was for Daniel. That was why Daniel was amplified in that story. But when the king said, okay, it's okay, since he said we should leave him and give him some time, he now went to his company. The Bible said, and Daniel went to his company and narrated the story, and then they began to pray, and they began to thank God, and then God revealed the vision. And then Daniel said, blessed be God, who revealed the intent who reveals the secret of a man's heart. Blessed be God, who makes the intentions known. And then he began to appreciate the name of the Lord. And he came before the king, and he declared that, O king, this was the dream. O king, this is the interpretation. And when he was done, the king said, the dream you brought is accurate. The interpretation now, we'll take it to heart and we'll begin to work on it. You remember what the Bible said? The scripture said Daniel now sat with the king. Where? At the gate. The gate, because the gate is the place of decision. The gate, because the gate is the place of transaction. The gate, because the gate is the place of redemption. Now, I have come into an exalted position. And how did he come into an exalted position? There was a trial. There was a season of trial, and this trial was going to lead to death. It's as though you would see death happen amongst the people. But Daniel was exempted. Daniel stood out. There was an attitude towards the trial when it came. There was a heart posture. There was a mentality he wore, and the mentality is this: we will not perish with what? You are not speaking to me. We will not perish with the wise men of Babylon. This whole thing is all around. I remember sometime when the president came, and the moment he was going to give his speech, he said, from today, no more fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy is gone. And at some point, if you are driving in Lagos, you will be appreciating God that, oh God, let this season remain so that there will be no much traffic. You just drive. Everywhere is dry when you drive. It was a season of trial. But you see, the Nigerians that we are, we're able to find a way. We are a resilient people. We are not pessimistic. We are optimistic in nature. So before you know it, the cars were back on the road. There is always a posture in a trying moment. Last week I said to you, don't put your wahala on your face. When we see you, you are looking hey, you are looking like I'm gonna die. So how far? I say, it is where we are managing, we are trying. There is an attitude. There is a posture in the seasons of trial. So you will notice that when that season of trial came, who was promoted? Was it Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? No. Shadrach, their name didn't even appear. We were only told about the fact that he went to their company, to his company, and it was those 3 guys. But their names were not called. You know why? Because that trial was bespoke. Now, what I want you to see is, every time you overcome trial, you don't just overcome it for yourself. You overcome it for others. The benefit of every time you come out of a dealing is beyond you. Is somebody getting me tonight? The benefit of conquering the flesh, the benefit of conquering self, the tributaries that comes with it is more than you. Yes, God may increase you in authority, but you see, when people come to you and they are talking because of where you've been, because of the things you've been through, because of the things you faced, you'll be able to tell that, oh no, this is it. You see, you don't know what financial hardship is if you've not been through one. I was reading Otedola's book recently, and somebody referred to the book. He said, the moment I carried the book and I started reading, I realized that Otedola was born in England. I closed the book. You know why? He's vexing. Say, me, I did suffer. They don't born you for... Them born you with silver spoon. But have you not seen men born with silver spoon and they wasted all the resources? I'll give you another example. Koscharis, what's his name again? Maduka Koscharis. As you see him, he doesn't allow when they were in school and everything, the children were not driving big cars. He was training them. Say they need to labor for themselves and be able to grow and understand. But recently they interviewed him and he said one of his regrets is that he didn't allow the boy to enjoy himself. I said, which one do we follow now? Because there was this other one that was very stubborn. And so he was giving him motivational speaking and he said, sometimes you need to rebel against systems and structures in order to arrive where you are going. But many years ago, these boys wanted to rebel and you were dealing with them. You see dealings? The other one who was saying no, he is a biker. So he said today, himself and that boy, they normally go for biking. But the other guys, if you go and listen, one of his boys are in the company doing tremendous things. I have no doubt and I have no fear that long when that man is gone, the business will blossom, just like God is good. It was when the father died that those boys took the business to the next phase. The father was a pom-pom person, analog businessman. When those boys came in, they transformed the business because their father subjected them to training. I'll give you another example. There is another one that was a jolly good guy. The son of the owner of Diamond Bank. You know, you guys, most of you, I know they read. You won't get good books to read. It was a common mistake. Sleep, wake up, and Diamond Bank was gone. Because the boy didn't go through dealing no day. I want shoe today, they give him. Schooled in some of the best schools in the world. But if you don't expose your children, if you don't expose your children to conquering challenges, and that's what trial is. Your ability to go through it and you conquer it. When you conquer it, you come out. You have authority. You have emblem to show. Let no man trouble me anymore from this day, because I've got on my body the marks of Christ. So when you look at me, you will see a mark. You will see a scar. What scar do you have for the kingdom? What scar have you won for the kingdom? What temptation have you been through and you conquered? Have you been through? You don't even understand that somebody can come and tell an untold and unfounded lie around you. And the way the person will package that lie, it will be so real. It will be so difficult to deny. I've been there. But the Bible says, within all of these things, you allow patience to take root. You allow patience. I just analyzed 3 different businesses for you. Go and research them. And then there are people who were bankers, and they started as clerks. And they started as clerks, and they started as T-boys. One of them is the man you celebrate today that you don't even know, Jimovia. When he was going to do the interview for the bank, when he saw the placement, it was his Oga suit he borrowed. And when he came in that day, the man said, "Where are you coming?" He said, "I came for it." "Which interview? You want my suit to do this interview?" And he got the job. He got the job. And let me say something to you. The world revolves in cycles. The world has recession cycle. Nations have recession cycle. All those cycles are trial moments. Are you with me? Huh? Trial moment. Like now we are in trial cycle as a nation. And we have borrowed and broken the record of borrowing.